You're going to highlight which one is the correct video and which one is the incorrect one, okay? And then after that, you're going to go ahead and identify how can you fix this mistake? What would you do to avoid making this mistake? And write the reasons why this mistake was made, okay?
Stop it.
All right, babies. There you go. Are you guys ready? Because remember, this goes by fast. Are you ready? Where's your template, Eddie?
We're going to be solving a system of linear equation. And to solve it, we're going to have to solve the first equation.
Thank you.
To make this problem simpler. So we have to write it out. X minus y equals -8. And to solve this, we're going to have to get y by itself, so you subtract x from both sides. So this cancels out, and you're going to have left over -y equals -8 minus x. But you cannot have a negative y. You're going to have a positive. So what you have to do is divided by -1. So you divide everything by -1. And when you divide, you should get y equals 8 plus x. So now what we have to do is substitute in this, our y, to our second equation, which is over here. So we're going to have to write it out, and it's going to be x plus 4, and our y now is 8, or x plus 8, equals -13. So we have to solve it now. X plus, 4 times x is 4x. We distribute now, and now we have to do this. And 4 times 8 is 32. Equals -13. So the next step is to combine like terms. And what we have to combine is our x and our 4x, and that'll give us 5x. Plus 32 equals -13. But we want to get x by itself, so what we have to do is subtract 32. Subtract 32 from both sides. This will cancel out, and this will be 45, -45. So we have to jot down our 5x. The next step is to divide 5, forget x by itself. And -45 divided by 5 will give you -9. Now, we already solved for our x. Now we have to do is solve for our y. So let's plug in the 9 over here to solve for our y. So y equals 8 plus -9. And this will be -1. And y equals -1, and x equals -9, and that's your final answer. Today we're going to be solving for a system of equations. Our system of equations today is x minus y equals -8, and x plus 4y equals -13. So to solve this, we're going to break them down into two equations. Our first equation and our second equation. What we first have to do is solve for our first equation to make everything much simpler. So we have to write it out. X minus y equals -8. So what we want is y by itself. So what we have to do is subtract x from both sides. This cancels out, so what we have left over is -y equals -8 minus x. And to to make y into a positive, you had to divide it by -1. -1.
Yes, it's the same one.
So negative y divided by -1 equals y. Negative 8 divided by -1 is 8, and negative x divided by -1 is x. So this is what we get for y. So what we have to do is imply the y on our second equation. So let's put it in our second equation. And our second equation is x plus 4y x plus 4y, and our y is 8 plus x equals -13. So now we have to solve it. So this x plus, we're going to have to distribute here. 4 times 8 is 32. And 4 times x is 4x equals -13. So now what we're trying to do is figure out for x. So we're going to have to combine like terms, which is 4x and x, and that will give us 5x plus 32 equals -13. And to get x by itself, we're going to have to subtract 32 and put it on this side. This cancels out, and that equals 5x equals 45. So now to get x by itself, we're going to have to divide it by 5, divide both sides by 5, and x will equal 9. So now that we find x, we go back and put it in to our y. So y, to find out y, so y equals 8 and x equals 9. And 8 plus 9 is 17, so y will give you 17. And that's your answer.
Alright, so the question is, which one's the correct video, which one's the incorrect video? So label the first video, video number 1. Label the second video, video number 2. Identify which one's the correct video and which one's the incorrect video. Once you have done that, you need to identify where the mistake was made and you need to highlight it. So go ahead and do that right now. Which one's the correct video and which one is the incorrect video? Alright, so let me ask you, which one was the correct video?
Number 1.
Which one was the correct video? 1 or 2? Okay, go ahead and write it in your whiteboards. Which one was the correct video? Write it on your whiteboards. Which one was the correct video?
She said it like
Which one is the correct video?
double check.
The count of 3, show me your whiteboards. 1, 2, 3. Video 1, video 1, video 1. Okay, so now for the most, not the most part, but all of you guys wrote video 1. So now, since all of you guys wrote video 1, go ahead and grab video 2 and identify where the mistake was made in video 2. Go ahead and highlight the mistake. Now, go ahead and do this in your tables. Go ahead and start talking to each other and see why and where was the mistake made. How can you fix it and how can you avoid fixing it? So go ahead and fill out the next 2 columns. The next 2 columns is justify and explain, step by step, where the video made the mistake, where the person in the video made the mistake. Go ahead and justify right now, step by step. Number 2, you need to go ahead in mathematical terminology, go ahead and fix it, and tell me how can you avoid making this mistake. Don't do this alone. Go ahead and work with your tables. Go. Start talking. Start talking.
Sir.
Messed up right here. I think you messed up on the second part.
I thought it was a negative. He forgot the negative 45.
Yeah, he did.
He just wrote 45.
He messed up right there.
Where did you give me a substitute?
Right here.
He forgot the negative 45.
He put
He put
positive.
positive 45 instead of negative 45.
So how can you avoid making that mistake?
By looking at your signs.
Okay. By being careful. Okay.
Yeah.
And what else? Give me solutions. In that last column, you gotta give me solutions.
Oh, that.
Yes,
Negative and negative.
kiddos, I need to see all 4 columns filled out for that second video. All 4 columns need to be filled out.
Do you say when you have a negative and a negative, you add?
And not only that, but I will be collecting your papers because I need to see and I need to read what it was that you wrote. All 4 columns need to be filled out on video 2. All 4 columns need to be filled out. I need to make sure that you understood this. I'm just going to go ahead and check it. I'm not grading it, I'm just checking it.
Ms. Chavez, how about
You need to completely verbalize it.
How about I wrote it? Ms. Chavez.
It's fine.
Okay, first,
Not right now.
specify the steps. What happened to excuse me? What I did. I thought right here you gotta put how to fix it.
I don't know.
That's why. Just
You need to physically write it down for me. I need to see your justification. I need to make sure that you understand how to work. Okay, give us ideas. What are you guys' ideas? What are you guys' ideas? Let me hear it. Go ahead.
To justify?
Yeah, the justify. Hold on one second, baby. Uh-huh.
When they added the negative 13,
Keep talking, but
negative
don't talk too
32,
loud.
they got a positive 45 instead of getting a negative 45. So
Mhm.
make sure your signs are always, you're adding your signs correctly.
Okay.
And I put also that when they substitute for X, their tongue is so long, so that also made the tongue from Y long.
Okay. So they kept on carrying the mistake over and over again. Okay. What about over here? What do we have? Charlton, you're not done?
No.
Okay. You're not done? Okay. What about over here? What do we have?
I got one. When he added the.
Where is he multiplying? You mean adding?
Yeah, right. He got when he added.
Okay, so adding, not multiplication. So go ahead and fix it. So adding. They're now being multiplied.
Kevin.
Alright, kiddos, do me the honors. Go ahead and pass these up. I need to make sure that I read them. Alright? Oh, yes, I am.
Out loud?
No, not aloud. To me. They're for me. Yes, please. Can you please collect them for me? Thank you.
He did every second one.